I'm so excited. Hello, my shiny baes. Hello, my besties. My voice is still a little bit gone, so bear with me, okay? I am trying my best. It's not my fault I saw Lana and Billy perform together. You know what I mean? Like, how is a voice supposed to stay after that, you know? Anyway, if I sound a little bit like a rat, that's why. But it's much better than it was yesterday. I will say, yesterday I was like today I sound a little bit better, don't we think? Anyway, moving on. So, if you don't know, there are 4 quarters in the year. Let me teach you really quick, okay? 4 quarters. Each quarter is 3 months. So we've made it through the first quarter of the year. We've made it through January, February, and March. So I thought it would be fun. I saw this on TikTok where you say your favorite books that have come from the first quarter. And then I could kind of keep doing that for all the quarters. And then at the end, we'll see like which ones are my top faves. But I picked 5 books that are my top favorites from January, February, and March, okay? I'm not counting anything after that or before that, okay? So if you ask me, Larry, where's God of Fury? I read God of Fury in December. Where's Taming 7? I'm reading Taming 7 in April. You know, so it's just from January, February, and March. I picked 5 books. This was very difficult, okay? Because there's like 10 that I really enjoyed out of the 50 I've read so far this year. But I needed to be, como se dice, picky, okay? We need to just do 5. We cannot be talking about millions of favorite books. We need to be specific. Which ones are your favorites, you know? So that's these 5. There were a lot of contenders, but these were the 5 winners. So here we go. Here are my top 5 reads of quarter 1 of the year. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, it's so hot and I'm dying, but at the same time, I don't wanna go put on a shirt. So what do we do about that? And Beepster is just eating over there. And, you know? Thinking about me every night, oh, isn't that sweet? I guess so. Y'all, I'm obsessed with espresso. What do you guys think? I love espresso so much. Such a good song. Not only do I love espresso just like in general, but also the song. Wow. Also, are we ready for tortured poets? What do we think? Are we ready to sob? We're espresso today, depresso tomorrow. Because as I'm filming this, Tortured Poets comes out in 2 days. Oh my God. I'm so excited. Okay, maybe we should change. Should we change? I feel like we should change. I'm dying. Let's change. We're gonna change. Be right back. I've changed. All's well. I feel much better now. Anyway, so where should we start? Okay, all of these, like I love all of these. So I don't really have an order for which one's at the top or anything. I'm gonna start with the first one I put on my top. This wasn't even a question, okay? A Court of Mist and Fury. So I read all of ACOTAR in January. If you haven't seen the reading vlog, there's part 1 and part 2. Go watch me reading ACOTAR, okay? I loved every single book in the series, I will say. But if I had to pick just one, it would be this one. But also, oh my God, I really loved Nesta's book. I feel like Nesta's so misunderstood and a lot of people hate her, but I didn't hate her at all. But at the same time, I also really loved Wings and Ruin, but also the first one was really good too. I just feel like this one's just my favorite though. If I had to pick one, like, you know, you are about to die, they're gonna throw you off a cliff if you don't pick one book, it would be this one. So, The Court of Mist and Fury, it just got me, okay, without giving you any spoilers. Go read the ACOTAR series, and if you've read it and you wanna see spoilers, go watch my vlog. This book was a 5-star for me. It was like my first 5-star of the year, I'm pretty sure, so it'll hold a special place in my heart, okay? By December, mark my words, this will be in my top reads of the entire year. I just binged ACOTAR so much and I was put into this universe that I fell in love with, and I even have a tattoo for it right there. In the middle of the reading vlog, I got a tattoo. That's how much I loved it. So A Court of Mist and Fury is definitely number 1 on my list. I love ya. That's the only one that's part of a series. All the other ones are pretty much standalones or they're interconnected standalones. So Court of Mist and Fury is just the only one. I'm gonna go into the only book that I don't have that the paperback is not within my hands, okay? Funny Story by Emily Henry. This book's not out yet, but it's coming out, I wanna say this month. Like I wanna say it's coming out in April. Let me double check for you, don't worry. It's coming out April 23rd, okay? So maybe next week, I think that is. Yes, that's right. Anyway, I read the art to this and I am so beyond obsessed. I cannot wait to have the paperback in my hands. This is officially my favorite Emily Henry book. I rated it 5 stars. I have 0 complaints about this book, okay? Basically, it follows 2 people, as most books do. It only follows her POV, as most Emily Henry books do. Not most, all of them pretty much. And it's Miles and Daphne, okay? Listen to this story, y'all. This is in the back of the book, so no spoilers here. Basically, Daphne is with this guy, they're about to get married. All of a sudden he calls off the wedding. He calls off the wedding for his childhood best friend because he realizes he's in love with her, okay? So Daphne is like, what the fuck? Like, what do I do now? I live in this place with this guy. I have no other friends in the city. What's going on? And so she decides she's gonna be roommates with Miles because Miles happens to be that childhood best friend that her fiance left her for, her boyfriend. So they both get left by these people who wanna be together. And now they're like, well, let's be roommates because we have nothing else going for us. So I guess let's be roommates. And isn't that a funny story? That's essentially the plot of this book. I know it sounds so complicated, but it's actually not as you're reading it. It's just complicated to explain. And this was so good. Like, just like every other Emily Henry book, it tugs on your heartstrings and you have parts that you want to sob and that you really relate to the characters. But overall, it's just like such a cozy, romantic, funny book. I felt like Miles was so different than other Emily Henry guys that she's written before. Like, usually would be a guy that you wouldn't fall for in a book, but he just made it work. And Daphne and him were so special to me. I don't know what it was about it. I don't know if I read it at the perfect time. I don't know if it was just the way I was feeling. It was the perfect book in my opinion. So Funny Story by Emily Henry, definitely on my top 5 of quarter 1. Run to get it as soon as it comes out. Trust me. Next, we've got Wild Love by Elsie Silver. Let me explain myself with this one. I read this in January, okay? And I don't think I was in the mood for it because I rated it 4 stars. I was like, oh, it's good. I liked it. But then I read it again in March. And oh my goodness, all of a sudden it was one of my favorite Elsie Silver books ever. Like, Reckless is still up there, but this was really, really close, okay? Like, I rated it 4.75, I'm pretty sure. This book just took over my entire soul. I adored it. This is the first book in the Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver, and basically all of these books are gonna be following single dads. I know you're already so excited. Anyway, it's dual POV and it follows Rosie and Ford. And Rosie is basically Ford's best friend's little sister. So you do have best friend's sister and you do have a little bit of an age gap, but not even a big age gap. It's not really discussed. Like, she is the little sister, but it's not really like a big thing. And you have a little bit of forbidden vibes because Rosie comes back into town after a long time and she needs a job. And who gives her the job? Ford. So you have best friend's sister, you have brother's best friend, which is the same thing. You have employee, you have a little bit of an age gap, you have a little bit of forbidden, and you have single dad. And this book was so good. I would say if this is your first time like reading Elsie Silver, this is a really good one to start with. It just has everything Elsie is known for and like really good at. It just gets you, okay? Like, there are moments in this book that you love them so much, but not because of a big thing. Like, it's not like a big, oh my God, look what he did for her. Like, yes, he's a billionaire, so he could do anything he wants for her, but it's all about the little gestures, I feel like, in Elsie Silver books, and this book showed it perfectly. I don't know what it was. I loved it. I saw a lot of people complain about this book, and I understand the complaints. However, I just cannot relate. I ate this book up. Wild Love. Please read. Please. I promise. I promise you'll love. Okay, let me not promise, because what if you don't? But maybe you'll like it. Try it. Next, we've got another book I just recently read, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I don't know why this sticker's still here. Let's take it out. Should we take it out? Hold on, let's try. I don't really know if it's gonna come out, you guys. Hold on. We're gonna try this. Hold on, everyone. I did it. I did it. Sticker free. Anyway, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This is officially my new favorite Abby Jimenez book. Mark my words, okay? I love Yours Truly. It's probably one of my favorites, and Part of Your World is so good, but Just for the Summer got me, okay? Listen, this is an interconnected standalone with that series. So Part of Your World, Yours Truly, and then Just for the Summer. But you do not need to read those to read this one. It'll just make it more special because you'll get to see all the characters again, and they do intertwine quite a bit. So I feel like you should read Part of Your World, Yours Truly, and then go read this one. It's just my humble opinion. But if you don't want to, and you want to go straight into this, you know what? I'm not gonna stop you. But Abby Jimenez's writing is so different than anything I've seen before. She writes characters that are like real, if that makes sense. They have real problems. You relate to them so much and they don't feel fabricated. They don't feel like fiction, even though they are. That's the best way I can explain her writing. So I really, really think that even if you're not a romance girly, you would like this book. So basically you have Emma and Justin, okay? And this is dual POV, I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure. Yes, it is. Okay, dual POV. And Justin goes on Reddit one day and he's like complaining about the fact that he is the one before the one. He basically will like date girlies and then after they break up, they'll find their person. So he just has terrible luck with dating, okay? And then Emma sees this Reddit thread because it goes like viral. And she's like, oh my God, me too. That's the exact same curse that happens to me. And they start chit-chatting on the internet. Do I recommend you talking to a random Reddit person? No. But did it work for this book? Yes. I know your mother says don't talk to strangers online, but you know what? Sometimes it works. Anyway, so they start talking and they decide that they should have a little fling for the summer. 4 dates, 1 kiss, and a breakup. Because if they have 4 dates, they do 1 kiss, and then they break up, they'll find their person after each other because the curses will like cancel each other out. You know what I mean? It's a very dumb idea, but you know what? They make it work. Anyway, there's a lot to this book besides that. That's just like the little premise of it. There's a whole bunch more to the story. Emma is one of those characters that is so flawed, but I think that's why I loved her so much. I saw a lot of people complain about her, but let me just tell you that I feel like everybody has different standards for male and female characters, okay? If a male character character is broody and he's troubled and he has like a bad past, everybody's like, oh my god, he's so misunderstood. Oh my god, I love him so much. But then when a woman is like that, everybody's like, she's so annoying and catty, and why is she always crying, and why is she always complaining? How about we check the misogynistic vibes right there, huh? Okay. So anyway, Emma was the perfect character for me, okay? I absolutely loved her and I loved Justin. And this is again one of those books where the little acts in it were my favorite part. If acts of service and like little gestures are your thing, I think you'll really love this book. There's the sick trope where he takes care of her when she's sick. There is, what other tropes are there? I don't really even know what other tropes there are, but you know what? That's what I feel like Abby Jimenez does best. She doesn't really write for tropes. She writes for the plot and the romance, and the tropes just happen to come out of it. I feel like now a lot of people write for the tropes and the story doesn't always come out good because of that, you know? Abby Jimenez cannot relate. Please, please read Just for the Summer. I beg. And the last book that made it on my list is a lot of people's least favorite book of all time, but I'm sorry, I love it. I love it. It's A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner. I don't know why I love this book because it has everything I hate in it, okay? It has miscommunication. It has right person, wrong time. It's like the most slow burn of slow burns of slow burns, which you know what? I love me a good slow burn, but this one is like, you struggle, okay, through this book. But I loved it. Now, if you read the black cover, the one that's just like this one, if you read this cover, you're not gonna get the last 200 pages of this book. I swear, like this right here. All of this is only in this cover. So please read this one. If you go on Kindle Unlimited, find this cover. Don't find this cover because it'll just not be good enough. Anyway, this follows Bea and Jamie, and the beginning of the book is only told from Bea's POV, and then the last 200 pages you get Jamie's POV, which is why I'm telling you it's so important to read this. And essentially it's just right person, wrong time, okay? They meet when they're very young, and from then on you get years of miscommunication, of the cheating trope, right person, wrong time, every single thing you could possibly hate. I don't know why I loved it. I don't know. It was the way the writing was done, and it was the way these people were so meant to be and so fated to be, and they were just always in each other's lives, that I could not put it down. It reminded me of Magnolia and BJ, like that toxic vibe, but I could not get enough. I'm so sorry. I know a lot of people hate this and I completely understand, but I just don't. I just don't. I love this book so fucking much. Get this book tattooed on my chest, okay? I even made a playlist for it on Spotify. Come on, that's how you know I love a book, when I make a playlist for it. So I would recommend you trying it. It might be for you, it might not be. If it's not, don't yell at me, okay? But it is one of my top 5 of quarter 1. Here we go. These are all my faves so far, plus funny story, which is not pictured here, but it's included. I adored all of these books in different ways, like I told you, and these are just my top 5. Now, if I could do like a top 10, for sure, Wrath would be included. For sure, Love Unwritten would be included. For sure, The Favor would be included. But I really just narrowed it down to like a top 5. I would die for these books kind of thing. So these were not included, but I loved them very, very much. So they were worth a mention, you know? So yeah, those are my top reads of quarter 1. I'll see you in quarter 2 when I tell you my top reads for then. And then quarter 3. And then quarter 4. Yeah. What a fun time. Okay, I love you so much, my beautiful besties. Let me know your favorite reads of the year so far so that I can go check them out. Yeah, okay, love you. Forehead kiss. Come, 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 come.